Hello and welcome to day one of the Asian Sevens competition. Under 18s girls and under 18 boys action coming to you from Hohhot in China, the capital and largest city of the Inner Mongolian region. And it's a beautiful day in the city as we are about to get ourselves underway. We're kicking off with what would be 4 rounds of matches in the girls' competition, although in the first game of the day that was scheduled for 9:35, Hong Kong, China actually had a bye. They are the reigning champions in this competition and are in a 3-team pool, along with the 2 teams that have taken the field here, China and Kazakhstan. And it's China on the ball first and making good use of it, sprinting down this left wing, and with just 20 seconds on the clock they will get the opening score of this game. A wonderful try and really well executed by the Chinese, will be spurred on by home support. Conversion to come from China. And just chipped up and floating into the right hand upright. No points added to the score, but China do lead 5-0. Just one use of the ball as we watch again. They really exploited the space perfectly, lined up their defenders, and were able to send their winger galloping down that left-hand touchline. And some real pace shown early on from China, encouraging signs from them. Kazakhstan secure the restart, and they're going to have to work their way up the pitch here from inside their own 22. China pouring players into the breakdown and win the penalty, win the turnover, and are already straight onto the attack. And will cross once again. 2 minutes played, 2 tries scored for China. This time the kick is successful, so in the first match of the Asia Rugby Emirates Under 18 Sevens 2025, it is China leading Kazakhstan 12-0. Kazakhstan, as they look to secure the ball here, and if they've let it bounce, that's not ideal for them, and it will head over the touchline and be a line out to the Kazakhstani side. Yet to get themselves beyond the 22-metre line with ball in hand. First line out of the game, first time to see how Kazakhstan do at this set play within the game. They've done really well, managing to get the ball shifted quickly away from the line out, but perhaps a little too quickly. Ball lost forwards. And China once again will find themselves in a familiar position. Ball in hand. And only a short distance to the Kazakhstan line. Forwards packing down against each other. Scrum stable from both sides, but it's China who get the better of it, and China who will score again. Simple pick and go from the scrum half, and she wove her way to the right of the scrum and then left of the defender, beat the tackle, and over for China's third try. see this one again, just that simple pick and go, carving right then left. China at the moment finding this all too easy. One of the real emerging forces in Asian rugby. Certainly the popularity of the Sevens program at the Olympic Games, something that has spurred investment in rugby sevens within the People's Republic of China. Kazakhstan trying to play fluidly with the offload there and the tackle, but it's ended up straight into Chinese hands. Solid at contact time there, the Chinese, and now for the first time they'll look to work this right hand side of the field. So far everything has come left of the posts for them. Kazakhstan on this occasion managing to make their tackles until the Chinese spread it wide to the left. It's a second score for their winger in the number 3 jersey. Conversion unsuccessful on that occasion, but China won't be too bothered. They lead 24-0. As we see some of the supporters in the background, the shot there, they are really starting to enjoy themselves here and will be licking their lips ahead of their clash later on today against Hong Kong, China. A real marker match for them that will be. That one's coming up at 20-5. But Kazakhstan now closing in on Chinese territory for the first time. And a pick and go from the ruck down the short side does get them over that halfway line. Keep passing from left to right. As I say that, it does just break down for them. Not for the first time on that right wing. Best receipt of a restart yet for the Kazakhstani side. But ultimately it does end up with a scrum to the Chinese following the knock-on. Kazakhstan deciding to make an early change here, which you would imagine is injury enforced, unless they are wanting to take the opportunity to see as many of their players as possible on the pitch. Unfortunately for the teams in this Pool C, there are not quite as many matches for them to play. Half-time hooter rings out around the stadium here in Hohhot. China will look for one final big play. The referee's whistle confirming there that that ball had been knocked on by China. So the two teams will head to the halftime break with one-way traffic having been the story of the game so far. All of the action played in the Kazakhstan half, and almost all of it with Chinese possession, putting them in a 24-0 scoreline at halftime. Second 7 minutes of this opening match of the Asia Rugby Emirates Under-18 Sevens 2025. It's the familiar sight of China kicking the ball downfield to this Kazakhstani side, who not for the first time make an error, having passed the ball fairly quickly from one side of the field to the other. Just breaks down on that final pass again to set up another Chinese attacking opportunity. Just on the tail end of the markers, extending from the 5 metre line. They will send a player over to the blind side as well, just to create that bit more space on the open side. But again, it's their scrum half that picks and goes from the base of the scrum. This time Kazakhstan do close her down before the line, but it was only a matter of time. It's the first receiver, but it's crashing over just by the posts. Power game on that opportunity from China, showing that they do have real variance in their game. They've sprinted through gaps, they've weaved their way through spaces that didn't seem to be there, and now powering through tackles. So we get their opening score of the second half after just a minute of play. See this one more time, breaking through that tackle and then having the strength to survive the covering one on the landing. 31-0. It's the first of a chunk of 3 girls matches that we'll be bringing you from this under-18s competition before we switch over to the boys competition. Next up is India and Japan, followed by Malaysia and Uzbekistan. As Kazakhstan now do break into the Chinese half properly for the first time, and again favouring a pick and go from the ruck. Perhaps not so confident of backing their passing play from the ruck. The scrum half down on the ground. The problem with that play for the Kazakhstani side is that it allows the Chinese jackals to get in really quickly and once again win the penalty, and China sensing a feeling of superiority at the scrum set piece. Call for the forwards to be brought in again. A bit of a conversation here between the Chinese off and the referee about feeding into scrum. Looks like perhaps the Chinese scrum half not super confident with what she was doing there, so a change made by China. Warm in the scrum. First tackle broken. The second one is successful from Kazakhstan. China down the short side. Big handoff coming in from their winger there. Managing to gain a good 4 or 5 extra metres in the tackle. And the offload here, bit of a risky one. Kazakhstan could put themselves in a strong position here if they make that tackle stick. Wasn't quite strong enough. And it will allow China to break in the offload game. It's going to set up a 1v1. Kazakhstan do win it, but tackle wasn't fully completed. China release the ball, pick it back up, offload, and familiar story, having to work a little bit harder for that score than they had done some of their earlier ones in the game, coming from a lot deeper down the pitch. Proven to be no real problem for the Chinese. So we see this one again, great technique to get that offload away, but it was also the rugby awareness before that. While the tackle had been completed, there was no ruck, so the attacking player was able to place the ball on the ground, get back to her feet, pick it back up and continue her run, which she did in one fluid motion, and that really set up that try for China. Big hit coming in on the Kazakhstani receiver there. It's the same story every time that Kazakhstan passed that ball out to the right winger. That pass, not the best one to her, just floated a little to her left and she's only able to stick out a hand to try and grab it, but she will want to get her hands on the ball to give her a bit of confidence. She is able to run at these Chinese defenders. Speed of passing from China, scything the Kazakhstanis open. And a superb team try for the People's Republic of China here. As we move into the final minute of play of this opening match of the Asia Rugby Emirates Under-18 Sevens 2025. Day 1 of 2 pool play today, and then the knockouts tomorrow. China will be feeling pretty confident of progressing from this 3-team pool into the cup stages of the competition. Top 2 teams go into the cup. The bottom 2 teams will go into the plate, and the other girls' pool does have the full 4 teams in it, as do both boys' pools. So there will be full plate representation from those pools. Tricky kick there from Kazakhstan. They didn't send any chasers up, but the bounce that was allowed by the Chinese before catching it just foxed the defender. And as it bounced back up towards them, they knocked it on. So as with the hooter having sounded, Kazakhstan will have one final opportunity to try and get some points on the board, salvage some pride, gain some confidence heading into their second pool match against Hong Kong, China. We'll play that one at 1:20 local time, when China will have had a bye, so they'll have a nice rest before their Pool C decider against Hong Kong, China this afternoon. Tricky pass out of the ruck there. It's the Kazakhstani player dived on the loose ball. Chinese defender dived on her, and therefore penalty Kazakhstan, and second opportunity for them to try and make their way downfield in dead ball time here. But then it's Kazakhstan who give away the penalty. Straight over the ball, straight off their feet. China already 41 points to the good. Want to take this opportunity to see what they can do, and they're going to call for the scrum again. While most teams might say job well done at this stage, tap the ball and kick it to touch. With just 2 pool matches, the Chinese side will want to make the most of every minute that they have these opportunities to play international rugby, the under-18 age grade level. So valuable. Every experience is a positive one. China really grabbing the experience of both hands, although not quite grabbing the ball with both hands on that occasion, so it does just fire through them and over the touchline. But China take the spoils, 41 points to 0, winning the opening match of the Asia Rugby Emirates Under-18 Sevens 2025, putting themselves in pole position in Pool C, and a really nice display of sporting behaviour here from both sides. The Chinese girls gathering hand in hand to bow towards their Kazakhstani opponents, and then handshakes all round as this game ends. China 41, Kazakhstan 0.
Hello.
嗨。
Welcome back to the Asia Rugby Emirates Under 18 Sevens 2025 and round 3 of the pool phase coming at you over the next 3 hours to conclude day 1 of this wonderful tournament taking place in Hohhot in Mongolia in northern China. It's been a wonderful day for tag rugby and a wonderful day of sevens rugby on the pitch as well. Some fantastic performances from the next generation of talent across the Asian continent, and perhaps none more so than from these two nations taking the field right now, Hong Kong, China and the People's Republic of China. We saw a clash between the two of them in the boys competition earlier on. Now it is the girls' opportunity to play out this classic rivalry on pitch in front of their fans. And we saw from the pictures and the sounds coming through shortly before the teams entered the pitch that the girls from Hong Kong, China especially, were really enjoying the atmosphere pitch side, dancing and singing along to the music on the stadium PA system. We'll see whether that enthusiasm spurs them on in the opening moments of this encounter. They win that scrum there, and Jenica Narag had to work hard to get it up off the ground and over to her players, and it's ended up with the People's Republic of China seizing the opportunity, being able to come away with it here as they play to that far side of the pitch into one of the remaining bars of sunlight left on this field. But it will be the People's Republic of China who get the first score of this East Asian clash, racing down that right flank. Touch the ball down over the line through Zihan Liu. She will look to convert her own try as well. Remember, the teams in this Pool C of the girls' competition are in a 3-team pool. So China, we've not seen them since the opening game of the day. We'll watch the pace of Zihan Liu once again. Hong Kong, China, we didn't see them in the opening round, but we saw each of them when they did take the field get comfortable wins over Kazakhstan. China by 41 points to 0 and Hong Kong, China by 26 points to 7. It's the People's Republic of China that have taken the early advantage in this one. The first score, and now really aggressive defence, forcing Hong Kong, China right back onto their own try line. Crucial moments here for the team from the Special Administrative Region of China, trying desperately to clear their own lines. And they've actually carried that ball back over their own dead ball line there in the attempt to kick it clear. So it is going to be a scrum to the People's Republic of China on the 5-metre line, right in front of the posts, and an excellent opportunity here for them to go 2 tries to the good against their closest rivals. Yu Dongchen will feed. She's just going to wait for that scrum to be steady first. The ref's going to ask for them to reset it. It's quite a volatile thing as a 7 scrum. Only 3 players on either side. And then Hong Kong, China concede the free kick, and they concede the second try as well. And it is Yu Dongchen who's waiting all that time to feed the ball into the scrum. Who takes the tap and forces her way through an impossibly small gap and over the line. Zihan Liu attempts the points afterwards. Great power from short range, that from Chen. So no conversions added yet from the People's Republic of China, but a healthy 10-point margin. And once again, forcing Hong Kong China back without even having the ball. Time without the ball lasts a very short period indeed, and so does the time from one try to the next. Over for their third try, just 4.5 minutes into the game. It is once again Zihan Liu. 2 of the 3 tries that the People's Republic of China have scored have come through her. And on this occasion, she is able to knock over the conversion as well. Hong Kong China in danger here of being on the wrong side of a bit of a drubbing unless they can arrest the progress of the People's Republic of China pretty swiftly. That's better. They managed to take that restart safely and take the ball to ground, because it's these moments where they get caught upright and driven back fiercely that the problems start to emerge and they don't have a way of dealing with it. Forced into an early kick, it has at least got down into territory of the People's Republic of China. You then win a penalty of Hong Kong not rolling away at the tackle. So, People's Republic of China going for the scrum and then having to pick the ball up off the ground, but Zihan Liu, such a calm and assured player, she has no bother doing that, and China end up with the penalty as well. And come away with it quickly. Down this near touchline, pace shown from Xu Lianbai, and then she distributes the ball infield to Jing Liu. Try number 4 for the People's Republic of China as time expires in this first half. The hoot hasn't gone quite yet, so I think there could be a chance for another play after this conversion. Just got a little bit too underneath that, did Zihan Liu. So that'll bring the half to an end. Hong Kong China 0, People's Republic of China 22. And well, China will be very pleased with their performance so far, quite obviously. One thing that they may be bearing in mind is in a closer match than this, points from the boot will be crucial, and 6 of them have gone awry for them so far. Hong Kong China, well, plenty for them to discuss. They need to go back to the drawing board, really, as far as this match is concerned, to work out a way to mount a comeback in the second half. People's Republic of China, kicking this one down towards Hong Kong, and again managing to get the drive in following the tackle and poaching the ball straight away, starting exactly as they left off from the first half. Quick distribution into the hands of Shi Xuanjiang. Already they found themselves in Hong Kong's red zone. Switch play, just read comfortably enough by Hong Kong there to keep the onrushing Chinese attack at bay, but Zhongqiu Ji now driving towards 5 meters off the line. Jikui Miao having to go to work to dig that ball out. Penalty to the People's Republic of China. Jikui Miao taps, puts in the miss pass, misses its intended target as well though. And Zihan Liu has to show some composure on the ball to find some space to find Shi Xuanjiang, who finds the try line and adds to China's scoreline. Zihan Liu. Again, not quite able to add the extras. The determined run from Zhang to get over in the corner. Just when it looked like Hong Kong China might have caught that cleanly enough to not be driven back, Alina Nazarova unfortunately knocks it forwards, and to compound the error, Hong Kong China give away the penalty for offside. The result is the same really though, as if it just been a knock on, as China opt to take the scrum. Changes being made by both sides. Katie Hulbert and Holly Terrebrud coming on for Hong Kong China. Fresh legs certainly needed for them. China, well, they're just comfortably going to work at the moment. The scary thing for the teams in the other pool is that tomorrow the People's Republic of China will have played one game fewer than anyone they come up against. That is going to mean they have fresher legs and can keep on running just as hard and just as athletically as they are doing in this match here. Good long pass there. That one a bit more of a bullet, but well taken in the end by Xu Yashan, and well distributed as well to find Liu. He's having an excellent game. More used to bossing the show in the playmaker role, but on that occasion she was the happy beneficiary of the ball to head over the try line and continue notching up the score for the People's Republic of China. 32-0 now. Fair to Liu, she still had some work to do. She needed to make sure that the last Hong Kong China defender felt that the winger was a threat, didn't cut back inside to make the tackle on her. She did do that. Wow, that one almost inadvertently is a better receipt of the restart by Hong Kong China. And backwards through the hands of Azarov into the arms of Saive Martin. And Hong Kong China winning a penalty for offside here. Fisher takes the tap. Puts in the grabber kick forwards. How will this one bounce? It's a good chase from Jenica Narag, but there were two players from China back there. Those numbers were always going to give them the advantage. However, they are caught infringing at the ruck, and so Hong Kong China now with their first proper opportunity inside Chinese territory, and no sooner do they gain that opportunity than it goes missing as they lose the ball forward. Bit of a loose attempt at the tackle on Ryu-Han Sun. Means that China can start to move away from their own try line here. Up over the 22, and it's going to be a breakaway try here surely for Yu Tong Chen. Nobody in front of her. It's just a case of having the gas and the endurance to keep ahead of Scythe Martin at this point in the game. Hong Kong China realising unless they headed towards Yu Tong Chen, she wasn't going to put the ball down there. Content as China are now to let time tick away and not overdo anything going into day 2 on home territory. Not sure Yu Tong Chen particularly wanted to take that conversion attempt there. More of a basketball bounce than a drop kick one. Unfortunately, it goes past the left upright. It's always tough to convert your own try when you've run the length of the field in a game of sevens. People's Republic of China trying there to put in the restart right on the 10-metre line, make it really contestable for them. And they know that they've got Hong Kong China's number when it comes to putting in the long restarts and chasing them up and making the tackles. So trying something a bit different, didn't quite pay off, and will give Hong Kong China another opportunity at the end of this game to try and get some points on the board and salvage some pride going into day 2. It's the final round of games on day 1, and now the final play of this match. Emily Fisher steps back inside and manages to find Sarah Harris. Ball lost forwards and picked up immediately by the People's Republic of China and Ryu-Han Sun. And they will have a 3-on-2 here. If they can execute, it's down to a 2-on-1. And it's all about pace now. Good covering attempt at the tackle from Holly Terrabridge. She wasn't able to execute it herself, but she slowed the runner down enough for Elizabeth Stanton to get there. Still trying to come forwards though, up to halfway now. This game was won long ago. The hooter went a fair while ago as well, but People's Republic of China, well, they are content to play on and notch up another score, and they will do exactly that through Ryu-Han Sun. And exhaustion shown from players on both sides there at the conclusion of this game. Final lung-busting effort to end the match. Kieran Tong will knock over the final points to secure a 44-0 win for the People's Republic of China over Hong Kong China here in the final match from Pool C in the girls' competition at the 2025 Asia Rugby Emirates Under-18 Sevens. Both these teams will, however, progress into the Cup tomorrow. They finish first and second in their group with only 3 teams in it. But it's China that will have the kind of draw going into the semi-finals. They'll play the runners-up of Group D. We're going to find out who that will be in our next 2 matches. Japan against Uzbekistan is first up. Japan almost certain to be the pool winners. And then Malaysia against India will be the final girls' match of the day. And at that point, we will know who else is going to join China and Hong Kong China in the Cup competition tomorrow. some real positives through the day yesterday, and have grew into themselves and have really deserved this semi-final spot. They got a courtesy of their 24-5 win over Malaysia in their final match. We are underway. India kicking to China. And China already making good headway through the defensive line. Zheng Zhigui. And winning the penalty as well, which they're going to take quickly. India aren't really back 10, so they were at risk of conceding another one. They just about held off the tackle for long enough. China already into the Indian 22. Looking again on this near touchline. Trying to break through. Just staying in field of China. Looks so strong with ball in hand. They win another penalty here. India going off their feet at the tackle. And it will be Zheng Zhigui to get China's opening score. Took them just over a minute. They gained ground on every single carry there. Never really looked like being stopped. Stays at a 5-point margin. So you see once again it was Guy who started the whole thing down in her own half. Only right that she should finish it off for China. Who choose to stack 5 of their 6 chasing runners on this kick over on the far side. India just about getting hold of that one. Not the cleanest receipt of the restart. And a big hit put in as well, but the offload's there, so they keep this play moving forwards. They are going to get the penalty as well. Free, penalising China for diving off their feet at the ruck there. Good quick hands from India. It does mean they've used up all of their attackers. And they were struggling then to find people to secure the ball at the ruck. That allowed China to get in there. India were penalised, and China once again on the attack, but losing the ball at the critical moment. So India just trying to play this out from their own try liner. Little stab kick there, probably not the best option. It's going to allow China the chance to try and counter here while the Indian defence is trying to get themselves set. But it's getting scrappy from both teams here. Apologies, just lost connection there. We are back with you as China away. Picking up and the distance. Great to hear the home support for China coming from the stands here in this wonderful stadium in Hohhot. China holding a 12-0 lead over India after that first half. 2 tries to the hosts. 1 in the opening minute. And the second coming on the stroke of half-time. India, they need to mount the comeback job, but knocking the ball on from the restart, it's not the way they go about that. So Yutong Chen will feed the ball into the scrum and then create this attacking opportunity from which China are going to score their 3rd try. Simple stuff for the Chinese on that occasion. Just a case of lining up their defenders and Jihan Lu running around the outside of them. She's not able to convert her own try. But China holding a 17-point lead now as we see Liu galloping in again. She had a strong day yesterday. Looks to be picking up exactly where she left off. Trying to go short on this restart. India allow it to bounce and get a big hit for doing so. Penalty to China. Guy takes the tap quickly. They do have numbers to the left hand side with this loop that they've created and over the top, and it's going to be another try. Indian defence trying to put in a last gasp tackle to stop it. It was too little too late. China scoring once again. To pluck that ball out of the air, but Xi Xuanzhang did do really well to dot it down in the corner and continue China's march towards the final of the girls under 18 side of the competition here at the 2025 Asia Rugby Emirates Sevens. Running back against play there to create the gap through which Jikui Miao needs no second invitation to run through. China absolutely fluid now. There's no stopping them when they get to this point. They showed yesterday they're a class above their opponents. The same is proving to be true in this semi-final here this morning. Liu goes longer on this restart. It's hanging in the air for a long time. Saloni Kumari got herself underneath it. Just wasn't able to stop it slipping through her arms. Knock on from India, scrum to China on the edge of the 22. Subs to come for India. Miao, the latest try scorer. Place this ball into the scrum. It does get wheeled a little bit, but China able to get the ball out soon enough, and same tactic that's led to the last try. Switch back against the run of play. On this occasion, India are able to shut the door, prevent China from running straight through. But it feels like a matter of time. Denied only by the ball being lost forwards at the ruck. A minute and a half to go, and India heading to the third place playoff in the cup competition here. They'd like to head there on a high. They'd like to be able to create something to give themselves a bit of confidence going into their final match of the weekend. If they're going to do that, they're going to have to go from deep, 5 metres out from their own try line now. I'll tell you what, they've a chance of doing it though. Too much pace from the chasing Chinese pack for India to be able to go the whole way, and then there were Chinese numbers at the ruck to get the turnover. It's China who are now the ones looking to run around the outside, and they'll do exactly that. Kieran Tong, she's got pace to burn. Should be the latest to add her name to the score sheet here in this cup semi-final. It's just the 5 points that she adds. China 34, India 0 now. Which again, that offload crucial in setting up this try. Try as she might, Samrudi Ankush Kadam was not going to be able to pull Kieran Tong in and make the tackle. It's not gone 10 from China. So India with one final chance, starting at halfway, to try and get themselves off 0. Step back inside, finds a half gap. But China stealing the ball as they have on a number of occasions. That's the fact that they're able to gain so much ground every time they do steal it, even if that one ends up with India winning the penalty. Just another example of how dangerous China are as soon as they get their hands on the ball. India will get a second penalty in a row. A third now. China won't want to finish this game with a player in the sin bin. So they need to frantically infringe. They need to be thinking now about how they would handle this situation if the scores are closer in the cup final. 4 penalties in a row. If the scores are closer in a cup final and the opposition have the ball, they would not want to be giving this number of penalties away. In a closer game, they almost certainly would find a player in the bin for doing so. India still trying to pour forwards, but good counter-rucking looked like initially from China and then off their feet. This is going to be a sin bin. It is 5 penalties in a row. 5 out of the last 6 have gone against China. India calling for the scrum, and understandable with the player advantage. I have 4 Chinese players tied up around the scrum, and only 2 of them to cover the rest of the field. China, at the moment, opting not to have a scrum half in, to provide themselves with 3 defenders in the back line. India looked to go to the blind side. Anita Murmu didn't feel she had the gas herself. She handed off to Raimani Murmu. And now India finding space on this left-hand side, and they will get to finish with a try. Lovely stuff for India. And Anshu Kumari. Perhaps wouldn't have come without the player advantage, but India won't mind. I'll take that score however it does come. Certainly something for China to think about going into the final, about how they handle the close of games when they do not have the ball. Much more discipline than that will be needed against either Japan or Hong Kong China. A close one in the cup final. They are through to the big dance on home soil. So congratulations to them. India, we'll see them in the third, fourth playoff at 2:35. The Women's Cup final coming at 3:30 local time. So we have a watch again of some of the best tries of the match. China ended up winning 34 points to 5. Two sides entering the field of play. Japan in the red strip, China in the white. These players will feel a real sense of occasion here. Great to see a couple of players from the China boys team putting themselves up into the stands and holding up their flag proudly. We'll start with the anthems. First of all, Japan. The formalities out of the way. The anthem absolutely belted out by the girls from China there. We'll shortly get ourselves underway in this cup final. China against Japan. Final, I think anyone watching this from a neutral perspective would have hoped for. By quite a comfortable margin, the two best teams in the competition this year. They ran through their opponents in the pool stages. They backed that up in the semi-finals this morning. And now the ultimate test in this cup final to become under 18 champions of Asia 2025. Japan getting us underway and immediately chasing down a kick. China shifting the ball quickly from the ruck. Really the first time we'll see either of these two teams stretch to their maximum. Such is the standard of play that they have each displayed so far this weekend. That pass just going slightly awry from China. And a foot in touch as they try to recover it means that Japan will have the first true attacking opportunity. A line out just outside the Chinese 22. Safely won by Japan. And already they are into China's red zone. Trying to work something out on this left-hand side. Penalty for China though. And if you couldn't see which way the referee was pointing there, you'll certainly have known who the penalty was for, given the roar that went up around the stadium. As many people in watching this match as there have been all weekend. Great to see the popularity of Sevens rugby here in Hohhot and in China in general. That'll be a big confidence boost to China to shut down Japan's first attack. Both teams having had a use of the ball, neither having scored from it. China just about holding on on this occasion. They're swamped after the scrum. And Japan infringing here, coming around and entering from the side. China choosing to go for the scrum with this penalty. Risky position too, just 5 metres out from their own try line, but good to see them backing what their scrum can provide them in terms of a platform. Just a word from the referee, she wants the scrum to be set a little more stably than it was on that occasion before the ball goes in. Picked from the base of the scrum by Yutong Chen. Still she's going. And from a 5 metre line to outside of 22. And got her team well out of trouble there. Although this defence from Japan is incredible. Real blitz defence, forces the knock on and then the penalty. And they will have the ball Just 8 metres from the Chinese line. They tap and they go. Weaving to the base of the posts, and that is the opening score of the game. First blood drawn in this final is Japan through Chihiro Ito. They get the go-ahead score. Which is converted as well. China 0, Japan 7. As we see this again, the tap. Just the swerve. Knowing that the post is going to provide her with an opportunity to place that ball down unchallenged from one side. Really good tactical awareness from Ito. A good chase again on the restart from Japan. As China have distance to travel with this latest possession. Get a bit of a blitz defence from Japan, shutting down the options on the outside as far as China are concerned. Keep having to step back inside. Nearly a break there for China. The tap tackle just coming in clutch at the right moment for Japan. Up to halfway now. It's China's best passage of play of the game so far. Japan making a nuisance of themselves at the breakdown. China dealing with it, still moving forwards. They do have numbers to this right-hand side. Needing to shift it wide, and they find Zheng Zhugi. And Zheng Zhugi is going to break the tackle, and she's going to go for China's score here. Just in the shadow on this right-hand touchline. She places the ball down to get China on the board. A chance for them now to tie the game with this conversion kick. It's just going to miss to the left. Japan with a 2-point lead. 1 try apiece in this cup final, as we see again Guy stepping back inside and then busting through the tackle to run unopposed to the line. China's restart not functioning quite as well as Japan's, although the ball does in the end bounce just over the 10-metre line. Referee, however, not happy with the tackle coming in from China, so penalty to Japan. With the hooter sounding, they're going to just nudge this downfield for the line out. 2 points ahead, clock in the red, the end of the first half. The score here for either side be such a massive psychological boost, regardless of the scoreboard. Getting to go in at half time off the back of a score. No numbers on that right hand side for Japan. Still trying to see what they can create. I'll come back now into the shade. China making their presence felt at the ruck there. It was a high tackle on the 10-metre line. The referee is going to bring play back for Onomi Shimazu with ball in hand. Tells the referee that Japan would like the scrum. We are going deep in this first half. Well into dead ball time now. Harada to feed the scrum, centre field. Just gives Yu Tong Chen a bit of a nudge, and then weaves her way through. Japan just into the 22 now. Still working this short side, still driving forwards. And now they have a huge expanse of space to play into on this left-hand side. They keep it tight for now, the Chinese defence up too quickly to risk the passing play. Can they draw and give here? It's one-on-one for the corner, and Japan are going to win the race. Hinata Kawabe with the try for the Brave Blossoms. Well into dead ball time at the end of the first half. That extra effort has paid off for Japan. They extend their lead to 7 points. And now, two teams will regather, regroup, and plot their assaults on the second half. China, the team needing to mount the comeback. Japan, the girls in control at the moment, leading 12 points to 5. As we see the opening try once again, darting around to place it down at the base of the post, and then Guy striking back for China. Just moments later, Japan then won a penalty just inside their own half. They kicked downfield, they worked it one way and then the other. They won another penalty around centre field and opted for the scrum. And in the end, they got their just desserts, scoring in the corner to stretch their lead back out to 7. Big shout from China. They stayed in their huddle slightly longer, perhaps having a little bit more that they needed to talk about, a little bit more that they need to think about in this second half. They have the greater task, 7 points behind. Sometimes it is easier to chase than it is to be chased. And they will hope to apply all the pressure on Japan in this second half. They will have possession and the advantage. The Japanese hand knocking that ball forwards as they try to gather the ball from the restart. So scrum to China. 15 metres in from touch, just inside the Japanese half. The pick and go, and China are going to level things up here. A piece of individual brilliance from Yu Tong Chen, spotting the gap around the scrum, darting through, and she was never going to be caught. She hands the ball over to Ji Kui Miao. Julie converts 12-12 in this cup final, as we see once again Chen. To be fair, Japan gave her a pretty big invitation. It was not one that she was going to turn down. Just under 5.5 minutes to play. The two teams locked at 12 apiece. 2 tries each, 1 converted, 1 unconverted. China goes short on the restart. Japan knock it on again. Very similar patch of field to where U18 just broke and scored from. Japan, they know what's coming. They cannot let it happen 2 times in a row. U18 sucks the oxygen in. She's preparing herself for another dart. She's going to be involved again as the ball comes right to left for China, and it's now going to be China's turn to score in this left-hand corner. In fact, Xu Xuan Zhang managing to just turn and get a little bit closer to the posts. She puts China into their first lead of the game. Five points to the good now. Can they get this conversion? No, they can't. As we see once again, great defensive effort from Japan to try and deny the try, but Zhang just had too much pace heading to that corner. We knew this was going to be a contest. Both sides absolutely delivering at this point in time. That restart going short, but then eventually bouncing over the 10-metre line and finding itself in Japanese hands. And so play will continue. Japan trying to come away with it here on the near side. But, ball spilling backwards does disrupt their momentum slightly. However, they've done well here to keep possession. Just as I say that, penalty to China. And they will be happy just to slow the game down a little bit here. They're 5 points ahead. They've got field position. They've got the put into the scrum. And the clock is now on their side rather than Japan's. Chen waits for the scrum to be settled before she puts the ball in, sees whether there is that option for her to dart through between the scrum and the first receiver for Japan. It wasn't on that occasion, and Japan managing to get the turnover here at the breakdown and win the penalty as well. So a great opportunity comes to nothing for China. Japan will use the opportunity to clear their lines. They've looked calm and in control throughout, including since going behind. This penalty kick takes them just up to halfway. Just wait for this line out until the subs have been made by China. Xu Yashan heading onto the field. Line out one by Akagi and Japan. A fake on the hard line in centre field. It's going to be another penalty. China not rolling away. Japan take it quickly. Good Chinese discipline after the penalty though to make sure they were back 10 metres and they're not giving another penalty away. Line speed from China, pinning Japan back. Only just inside the Chinese half now. Back to the left-hand side. China over the ball at the ruck, affecting the turnover, weaving to the outside. They already lead by 5, they're going to lead by 10 here. A hugely popular score around the stadium as U18 throws herself over the whitewash for the second time in this cup final. She's exhausted. She's put in an immense shift for her team this whole weekend. Absolutely exemplified in this final. Conversion missed, but China lead by 10. And there is so little time left in this one. China may well be on their way to winning Asia Rugby Emirates Under-18 Sevens 2025. Time brought back on by the referee at this restarts. China choosing to go a little bit longer on this occasion. They want to make Japan have to go the distance, and as the hooter rings out, the fans around the stadium erupt in cheers. They know that their team has done it. Even if Japan score now, the margin is too great. There is the knock-on. There is the end of the game. Your Asia Rugby Emirates Under-18 Sevens champions for 2025 are China. And as their teammates run onto the field to embrace the 7 that were on the pitch for the winning moment, it is a massive, massive triumph for China, for their girls' programme. The future of Chinese rugby is very bright indeed, and a wonderful display here of sporting appreciation between the two sides as they line up, bow to one another and then shake hands, despite the desperate disappointment that the Japanese girls must feel leading for so much of that match. Looking in control, looking composed throughout the entire tournament, absolutely demolishing some of their pool opponents, but ultimately coming up just short in the toughest test of the weekend against the People's Republic of China. A huge victory for the Chinese girls in front of their home crowd, and they will take a moment here to thank those supporters. As we look back, some of the key moments in the game. Japan scored the first try of the match. China struck back moments later. They weren't able to convert, so Japan held a 2-point lead and then scored deep into red time at the end of the first half to stretch their lead to 7. China had it all to do in the second half, but this player here, Yu Tongchen, well, she is something very special, scoring there to tie things up. China then went again through Zhang into the left-hand corner before Chen got her second to secure the win for her team. Absolute delight mixed with sheer exhaustion as she threw herself for the line there. Nothing but elation from her teammates as they ran on. I think it's going to be a very popular one here in Hohhot. Gold medalists in the girls' competition are of course China. Just as flawless in their progression through the tournament as the Japanese men were. They won 41 points to 0 over Kazakhstan. They had a bye in round 2 of the pool, and then they triumphed 44-0 over their closest rivals, Hong Kong, China, to finish up day 1. In the semi-finals, they faced India, emerging 34 points to 5 victors, before taking the stage in front of their home crowd in the cup final. They had to do it the hard way. They conceded the first try. They found themselves 7 points down at half-time. A couple of tries from the girl who received her medal just a moment ago, who you can see to the right of him in the blue jacket.
2 tries from you were enough to lift her team up above Japanese opponents, winning that final 22 points to 12 to take the trophy here at the Rugby Emirates under 18 sevens 2025. We will very shortly see them presented with their trophy as well. Here the trophy comes. By the rules you hear from the stands, I can assure you there are still a lot of spectators in this stadium here in Hohhot as they pause for the photo with the dignitary. They now get their opportunity to celebrate as your Asia Rugby Emirates under 18 sevens champions for 2025. It is China on home turf. They used the home field advantage to maximum effect, roared on by a passionate supporter base against the next best team in the competition. They triumphed in the cup final in most dramatic of circumstances, one of the best games of the weekend. Deserving champions. The senior team, just like their Japanese opposition, already competes at the top level of international sevens on the World Rugby HSB Sevens series. There is absolutely no doubt that the future for Chinese sevens is very, very bright. And with the bronze medal winning boys team at this gold medal cup winning Asia champions, China. The celebrations from 6 medal winning teams shortly get underway. In the meantime, boys winners will head in here as well for a combined photo, a nice moment to show the equal status of the girls and boys winners at this tournament, and of the girls and boys tournaments. In fact, at the Asia Rugby Sevens